Hello everybody and welcome back to another video. As you can see, there was no intro and today's video is actually quite a serious one, and I'm basically addressing something. So over the years of growing up, I've constantly been criticised because of certain features I have that is different to other people's, and one of my biggest thing is my teeth. I bet you are now trying to look at my teeth. But basically I don't have straight teeth. I have really wonky teeth. I have a massive overbite and I have teeth everywhere. Personally for me, I really don't mind them because I know why I have my teeth like this. So I've grown to like them, and I want to educate some people on why I have it like this, and maybe you should think before you start making fun of people. I did do a video like this on one of my old channels, which I now watched back yesterday and cringed at because I was crying and I just really didn't get the point across that I wanted to. So I need to remake this video so that next time if someone just makes fun of me, I can literally just send them the link to this video. So I have a medical condition called RAS where I have seizures, and it's not like I faint. I actually have full-on blown seizures where my heart stops, and I don't really know what I look like because obviously if I've always been in one, I've never seen anyone have a seizure, so it's quite hard to explain from my point of view of what I see, but I basically just want to explain and open up and be a bit honest with you about what actually happens. So I've had seizures since I was little. I cannot remember not having them. It's not like epilepsy. It's not it doesn't happen all the time. Last year in 2020, I think I only had one seizure. The year before I only had one. So it's not like it's all the time. But the seizure isn't the problem. I have seizures over blood, fright, anything like scare me, jump at me, watch a horror movie. I can't do that. Sometimes when I overthink and worry, that is such a common thing. I think a new symptom I have when I just overthink and worry about things. So yeah. The common triggers is talking about anything hospital, any injuries and things like that. That is such a common thing. Even like from stubbing your toe, my brain will start going a bit over wild. But as I just said, I don't have seizures that often. So what is the big thing about it is that my brain is wired to constantly worry about certain situations that can cause me to have a seizure. So say I go into class, my first thing that in my mind would be like, what happens if they bring up a conversation about this? What happens if they do this? What happens if they do that? So in my brain it starts to function up and I can actually cause myself to feel like I'm about to go into a seizure. What is such a scary thing, because imagine constantly living your life on the edge thinking that you're about to have a seizure every day. These worries in 2020 got so out of hand that I actually, when we went into lockdown, was so happy that that happened. And then when we had to go back, I actually had a full-blown panic attack to my dad on the, like, it was in 3 hours before I think I had to go in, and I just was like, I was hyperventilating, I was crying, I was like, I can't do it, I'm not going back to school. I was like, I don't want to do it again, I don't want to go through the same thing last year. I ended up opening up to my dad, who then went and spoke to one of the teachers that I'm most closest with, who absolutely dealt with it perfectly in the best situation possible. And I've been at my school now since I was in year 7, since I was 12 I think it was, and I've opened up to teachers and they've just shut me down every time. Or just said go to counselling, which does not help whatsoever. And finally a teacher who wanted to help me actually helped me. I'm very grateful for that. I said to myself, I'm not gonna cry. And at that point I started to enjoy school more. Just constantly was going into school being absolutely petrified of a seizure, and it just was causing too much stress on me, and for the teacher to actually sit down and want to understand what the hell I'm going through and actually find a solution to making it better, and just knowing that someone's actually there for me and understands actually what I'm going through is so nice. because no one can experience what I'm experiencing except unless you have it, which I would never wish anyone on, because there's just there's so many things out there that I would love to do, but I sadly can't. But I want to kind of explain actually what I experience when I have a seizure. So what happens for me is I get this funny feeling in my head where I just know, I'm like, it's gonna happen, and at that point I can control. So I could be like out the room. If I leave it for too long, that's it, I'm done. I know I'm gonna go into a seizure. When I know I'm starting to go into a seizure, there's this funny smell. I can smell I can smell when a seizure's coming and I'm about to have one. So it's just this weird, horrible smell. It's obviously where all the blood is rushing to my head that my nose causes this smell. And from then, the next thing I know is I feel like, and I don't know how to describe it, imagine you have your head and someone's dunking you underwater backwards and you're stuck there. So imagine being stuck underwater and you have the sound of water in your head, and then imagine everyone underwater talking. So imagine we've all been sunk underwater, your head is back under the water and you can hear everyone talking. I can only hear people talking is because everyone around me who's obviously experiencing the seizure, I can hear you. I can hear what you're saying and I can hear it. So it just is a bit muffled because it sounds like you're actually underwater. And then the scary bit that always scares me is, and I find really weird, is I can, oh my god, I'm gonna sound really weird, but I can basically see myself having a seizure. Not the seizure that I'm having right then. I see flashbacks, kind of like flashbacks, I guess. It's my imagination. Flashback into old seizures I've had, and the main one I can remember the most is of me as a, I don't even know what age I was, at my old house in my living room, on the floor in the corner, and I can see myself standing from the corner watching my body, and it's quite a puzzled thing, and I can just see myself on the floor. It's such a weird thing, and I don't know why I see it, and it kind of I have loads of flashbacks basically whilst I'm having a seizure, and I don't know why I have them. I think it's just my imagination, because obviously it would be physically impossible to watch my body and know what my body looks like, but I can just see my body laying there in the places where I've had my seizure. So my prediction is when I have my next seizure, it's going to be of me on the floor in my art room where I last had my seizure, which I'm dreading because I don't want to see that. I wake up and my tongue is numb because I've obviously bitten my tongue, and it's a horrible feeling. Like you can't feel your tongue and it's absolutely numb, but you know it's there obviously because you can know your tongue's there, like it feels like when I'm coming out of a seizure someone's just grabbed me and pulled me out of the water. That's how I feel. And a couple of times, I think I've done it twice now, in my most recent seizures, where I've actually pulled myself out of it. So normally a seizure goes full out and then it stops and then it slowly becomes light again because I'm opening my eyes. But the last two seizures I've had, I was in the middle of having it where I was at the flashback and I can hear everyone and I pull myself out of it, what literally does feel like you're pulling someone out of the water. But that's something I'm quite proud of, that I'm being able to control my seizures more when I was little, being able to pull myself out of them and stop them, because I think last year in 2020 I would have had so many seizures at the beginning of the year and some more recently if I didn't control them better. As I get older it will be non-existent because I've got it so under control. But my seizures over the years have held me back a lot. I'm going to explain this year one thing that I have seriously got over that is my most proudest achievement that I did in 2020. So because my seizures are all in the dark, I've always been scared of the dark. I've always had to sleep with the light on, which is kind of annoying, especially when Bailey sleeps over, because he doesn't have to sleep, but he likes to sleep in the dark. and I have to have the light on. And it started to cause problems when I would wake up and I would have an absolutely bad headache all day, and it was just getting unbelievable. My mum then suggested to try sleep in the dark, which I was petrified of. I was like, I don't think I can do this. So I tried it. I did it step by step. So at Christmas we had some outdoor lights and we kept them on, and I slept all in the dark. Not my little light was on, just these Christmas lights, and I managed it the first night. And then the Christmas lights got turned off and I was managing it. And then after a week, I think it was, I had my blinds down, I had my blackout blinds shut, and I was sleeping in the dark. Now I'm completely sleeping in the dark, and that is something I am so proud of myself for doing. And I wish I could tell the younger self that filmed that video of myself that you did it, Caitlin. For me, obviously, why does this link to my teeth? Because of the hospital things, I cannot even step inside of a hospital to visit anyone without crying and bawling, thinking I'm about to have a seizure. So let alone having my teeth pulled out, and having my teeth pulled out, I have to be put under anaesthetics, which I cannot deal with. I actually had a seizure once from having a gas mask, is it called? Like whatever it's called, over my mouth. Caused me to have a seizure. So no. So I'm now stuck with my teeth like this, which I am not sad about. Let's speed it a bit different. Thank you guys for watching.